This is the first time I've ever spoken about what happened that night, and even after all these years, the memory of it still sends a chill down my spine and makes my skin crawl in a way that nothing else ever has. From 2008 to 2014, I served as an officer in the United States Marine Corps, stationed for a time at Camp Foster in Okinawa, a place known not just for its strategic significance, but also for its dark and violent past, particularly during the Battle of Okinawa in World War II, where some of the bloodiest and most brutal fighting in the Pacific occurred, leaving behind not just physical scars, but something else, something that perhaps should have stayed buried. Even today, they're still uncovering unexploded ordnance scattered across the island, and there are areas that remain permanently off-limits due to the potential danger. But I never imagined that one night, while on a routine duty shift, I'd encounter something far more terrifying than anything left behind by war. It was August, hot, sticky, and humid, the kind of air that clings to your skin and makes you sweat just by standing still. When I was assigned as the officer of the day, a 24-hour shift that required me to patrol the unit's perimeter, check on the enlisted barracks, maintain a logbook of activity, and generally ensure everything was in order, armed with nothing more than a pistol and my own discipline. Around 11 p.m., after completing my second walk through the HQ building, I stepped outside and was immediately struck by a blast of air so cold, so biting, and so unnatural that I froze in place, stunned by the sudden change. Because cold like that doesn't just happen in Okinawa in the middle of August, and certainly not with that kind of intensity. I tried to rationalize it, assuming perhaps it was a gust from an AC unit or some strange airflow anomaly. But the second I stepped further out, I was hit by something even more jarring. The unmistakable, overwhelming smell of spent gunpowder, not a faint trace or passing scent, but the thick, suffocating cloud you only experience after an entire platoon has emptied their magazines in a frenzy of live fire. Immediately on edge, my instincts kicked in, and I veered from my original path toward the barracks, drawn instead toward a nearby wooded area where the scent was strongest, heart pounding with a mix of confusion and alertness, thinking that maybe someone was setting off unauthorized rounds, or that something dangerous was unfolding out of sight. Then I heard it, a scream, not a normal scream, not something you'd associate with a startled animal, or even a person in distress. It was wet, like it was gurgling through a mouth full of blood or water, and it carried a desperation and rawness that I've never heard before or since, and my brain immediately began trying to explain it away. Maybe a large fruit bat, maybe an animal in pain, but the sound came again, closer this time, unmistakably human, undeniably horrifying. With my flashlight raised and pistol within reach, I ran full speed into the trees, calling out, searching for someone in need or a potential threat, expecting at any moment to find a wounded Marine or some sign of a struggle. But after nearly 10 minutes of scanning every inch of that wooded area, the smell still hanging in the air like smoke after a firefight, I saw nothing. No movement, no signs, no people. Frustrated, confused, and deeply unsettled, I turned back toward the HQ building, planning to call the military police to investigate the area more thoroughly, when I stopped dead in my tracks, heart nearly stopping in my chest. Not 7 feet in front of me, floating silently off the ground, was a shape roughly human in outline, but utterly void of detail, completely black, darker than the night itself, with legs that ended in jagged stumps instead of feet, and what looked like tattered, shredded clothing that didn't move with the breeze, just hung there like smoke frozen in place. It wasn't just black, it was the absence of light, a void so deep that even my flashlight couldn't penetrate it, and instead of illuminating the figure, the beam seemed to highlight its unnatural darkness, as if the creature absorbed every drop of light around it. But what I remember most, what still wakes me up in cold sweats to this day, were the eyes. Two piercing, blindingly white flashes that shone out of the darkness, like camera flashes in a pitch-black room, not glowing, not flickering, just instant, blinding, and horrifyingly focused on me. I stumbled back in complete shock, my legs giving way beneath me as I tripped over a tree root, never breaking eye contact with the thing, my hand fumbling for my service pistol, ready to draw, ready to defend myself. And in that split second when I looked down to grab it and then looked back up, it was gone, completely and utterly gone. The woods were silent, the air thick again with humidity, the cold and the smell gone, as if they'd never been there at all. And I scrambled to my feet, bolted back to the, slammed the door behind me, and locked it without hesitation, breathing heavily and drenched in sweat, my heart still trying to catch up to what I had just seen. My assistant duty officer, a young lance corporal, was asleep on a nearby cot, completely unaware of what had just occurred, and I didn't have the courage or the words to tell him, because how could I explain what I had seen without sounding like I had lost my mind? So I sat there, frozen in my chair for the rest of the night, eyes wide, body trembling, unable to sleep, unable to move, replaying the scene over and over in my head. And I never spoke about it, not to my fellow Marines, not to my superiors, not even after I left the service in 2014, because I feared what they'd think, that I was unstable, unfit, in need of psychiatric evaluation. But the truth is, that night changed me in a way I can't fully explain, and since then, I've been haunted by night terrors, insomnia, and a lingering sense that something from that night is still out there, waiting.
If you liked the video, don't forget to like and share. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this.